Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, we are jumping into mostly the Doom Tower here on the test server. Actually, I forgot to put the test server logo. There we go. We are good. But we're going to be checking out the two new Void epics that just came this week in this patch. And I've seen actually relatively low interest in these champions, so I wanted to throw out a guide to show you how I would build them and what I think that they are good for. And I actually think that they are, broadly speaking, both sort of good for the same area of the game. So first of all, let's check out Fren'zi the Cackler. I think there's a couple of ways to build this champion. Fren'zi comes in, has an AoE provoke with increased defense on herself on a 4-turn cooldown. She has a 3-hit at random that can put out HP burn and give her turn meter. And then her A1 can activate the HP burns. Her passive is going to be scaling up her defense every time HP burn activates, and she brings you some defense percent in dungeons. Fren'zi the Cackler, what is she good for? I think a couple of potential things. I do think Doom Tower waves is quite good, right? Throwing out some random burns to help you kill those waves with turn meter, getting back to a provoke and being able to tank with the provoke with increased defense on the waves is quite nice. I think placing burns and then blowing them up is going to be pretty decent, actually, for some of the bosses. Potentially, we could try her as a mischief tank for Hydra, but I'm not super convinced by that. She only has increased defense, and it's on quite a long cooldown. But we could use her as like a sort of a budget Hydra champion as well, throwing out some burns and a bit of provoke. Not very good for that, but a budget option. Aeila Lifebraid, we're going to be looking at her then as well. Another interesting champ with a very unique passive, Rhythmic Flow. 12% chance of activating Give Extra Turn on this champion or an ally after using any active skill. This is pretty cool. So basically, she's going to give everyone in the team, it can only happen once for every 1 turn that she takes. But there's a chance that she can give people extra turns. I think that could be really good, especially, like I said, for probably Doom Tower is the place that's going to be best. Get extra turns, get out extra crowd control, get ahead of the bosses, that sort of stuff. She comes in with block debuffs and a big heal on a 4-turn. She comes in with increased accuracy on a 3-turn for your whole team, and then a single target sleep, which is intriguing. And then her A1 can restore destroyed max HP. How we built both of these champions? Well, Fren'zi, we've built her with accuracy and speed to land her debuffs and a bit of damage as well. She's a defense-based champion. So I think what we have here is sort of a lot of stats required, but going pretty quick. Then lots of defense and crit damage and crit rate to hit hard. This is more optional. You could definitely drop that crit damage. And then high accuracy as well to land the burns and land the provoke. I'd be prioritizing the accuracy number 1, speed number 2. And probably defense and crit rate, so number 3, bit of crit damage if you're able to squeeze it in. We've done that with triple perception, given her some counterattack accessories as well to get some extra hits, because she is going to be provoking and maybe explode those burns. And then for her masteries, I think fairly straightforward. Extend her increased defense a bit, extend those burns a little bit, and give her War Master for damage. Life Drinker so she can heal up a bit when she counterattacks. I have opted in for Arcane Celerity, give her turn meter when debuffs expire, seeing as HP burns and provoke are both going to be fairly short debuffs, especially with her exploding them on the A1. Get her extra turns, get her back to the burns and the provokes faster. For Aeila Lifebraid, I actually went with a curing set. So restore HP equal to bonus healing, make your heal 20% stronger, and just sort of capitalizing on this restore destroyed max HP thing. We're going to test them both out in Hydra as well and get a little bit of a vibe. I'm not very confident, to be honest, but hey, I feel like with Aeila, you can sort of build it whatever. She doesn't stand out to me as being super important. It's more, just have her high speed so that her passive comes off cooldown as often as possible. So with her, we are even more focused on speed, lots of speed. She doesn't need that much accuracy because she brings increased accuracy, and then making her tanky, and that's sort of it. Very simple. Oh, I didn't show you her masteries. Let me show you those. But yeah, you could definitely use her, I think, as an increased accuracy heal type champion for Hydra at a stretch to make that maybe a bit more doable with the destroy HP being restored. She has War Master here. She's got lasting gifts to make her buff stronger. We're boosting up her healing on the support tree. You could potentially run her in Sand Devil. And we could try that as well, where the destroying max HP is going to be really good. The healing's good. Increased accuracy and sleep is good. So we might give that a little go as well, though. I think there's more budget teams we could try. Let's do a Doom Tower wave, and let's see how it goes. So what do we have set up in here? Well, pretty simple. We've got our budget trio of Archmage Helmet, Seal of the Drakes, and Physics. We love running the three of these together. It's one of our favorite things in the world, and we've thrown in both Fren'zi and Aeila into the same team. So what is the idea of this team? What is happening conceptually? How have I set it up? So I am actually doing priority 1 with Aeila on the increase accuracy and sleep move. And the idea with this is to hopefully keep increased accuracy on our squad the whole time, because there's quite high accuracy requirements in Doom Tower Hard. She's going to make it easier for us to do that. The single target sleep is a fairly weak version of crowd control, unfortunately, but it might help a little bit. But let's see, will she actually proc the extra turn? Can we see that happen? Let's go. So she goes in. Okay, it's off cooldown now. Let's see, when will we get an extra turn on somebody? It's going to happen soon, perhaps. Or maybe not at all. She's gone in again. If you get an extra turn on her, that's great because it will reset. There we go. Physics just got 2 turns in a row. That's kind of nifty, especially with a champion like Physics that's got lots of AoE abilities on a short cooldown and can pump out lots and lots of crowd control. So that's cool. So that's what Aeila's doing. And then she's going to bring block debuffs, which is going to really help against enemies that can freeze us or put nasty debuffs on us. She's going to help heal us up as well, which I think should be quite good. Now she goes in, she's put a single target sleep, though again, it's been woken up pretty much straight away here, unfortunately. We've got a revive with Seal of the Drakes. Let's see, can we make it through, or are we going to be in trouble? This is looking a little bit sketchy right now. Oof, oof, we are being slammed, smashed down, and yikes, not looking too good. We're dead. Uh-oh, let's see, what could we do a little bit differently? Man, this is not, I would say, a difficult floor. We could have Fren'zi. Okay, let's have Fren'zi priority 1 on her taunt. Maybe that's what we need to do. What I was trying to do is squeeze out a bit more damage with Fren'zi, having her prioritize the burns, but I guess it's a bit risky. Give her turn meter as well. Guess it's risky. Let's have her prioritize the burns. But that is definitely not good. This is a team we've run extensively before. It's a budget team. This works really well for Doom Tower Hard. If we're struggling here, I think to me that says more about the champion struggling than anything else. So let's see, we come in with a provoke on Fren'zi. She should easily enough be able to tank it up now with increased defense. You've got ally protection from Physics as well. Round 2, let's see, can we do it? The burns are kind of nice to help us get through. Gives her a bit of turn meter as well. Burns actually do a lot of damage against Doom Tower waves. I'm worried though. After that first run, I am worried about these champions. Let me actually touch on that. Why do I think, number 1, nobody else, as far as I'm aware, has really done videos on these champions? Why is there no hype? Is that honestly they seem fairly weak. We saw the HP burn explosion A1 there from Fren'zi, but I think these champions unfortunately are fairly underwhelming. So like Aeila over here, she's got an interesting passive, but it's super random. It's super unreliable. She does bring a nice bit of healing and block debuffs, but that's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's a very long cooldown. Increase accuracy is decent, but she's not blowing me away. She seems sort of designed a bit for the Sand Devil boss, but I'm not really sold that she actually does anything that useful there. I'm not sold on it at all. It's much easier to just cheese that boss with a Godseeker and Eerie. I don't really see how Aeila is going to mix that up. It's a fairly weak niche. Fren'zi, again, she's got, I call it the 4-turn cooldown problem, right? 4-turn cooldown on the AoE provoke is just quite long, unfortunately. It's a good move, and the burns are, you know, it's an okay move, but it's a fairly long cooldown. We're getting through a bit better this time with however we prioritized it, and possibly just having our skills off cooldown coming into the wave. We've locked them down. Maybe this is the difference we needed to see, but yeah, I was very disappointed, honestly, that they did die. Again, we got the extra turn there in Physics, which is quite nice, actually. But it's not something you can rely on. But yeah, I'm skeptical about these champions, but we shall see. Let's let them run through. And yeah, you get an idea for how this works. I'll come back when we get to the 3rd wave. We'll see how they fare against wave number 3 here. Then I'll let them run through a few floors and see how far they're going to get. Be right back. Okay, we're coming up to wave 3. We go open up with the increased accuracy. All right. We don't have many of our cooldowns off, so we're going to be slammed pretty hard here. I think we're just going to die. This is a very big problem with these champions. Remember when I covered this budget team before? It's what I talked about as being one of my most important rules was 3-turn cooldowns. We're dead. 3-turn cooldowns are so important. So important. That's why Archmage is so good. That's why Vizix is so good. Right? These 3-turn cooldowns for crowd control. That's why I talked about, for example, the very first time I did this team. Now, it was a long time ago, but we used Yoshi way back when because he was coming in with a 3-turn cooldown AoE True Fear with increased accuracy. Makes a really big difference. These champions are just not, it's not working. It's not pulling through. We've done this team with, you know, Sylar in there. We've done it with plenty of champions in there. We're getting a fail with these guys. We're not missing gear either. It is just the fact that, man, they're just a bit lacking. Yeah, Fren'zi, if this was a 3-turn cooldown, if this was a 3-turn, I'd be saying this is a great champion, right? 3-turn provoke with a 3-turn AoE burns as well. I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's a solid epic champion. That can come in. You could build her then as a mischief tank, a more reliable mischief tank for Hydra. That's also bringing some burns, a bit of provoke. That's actually quite useful. But 4-turn cooldown provoke, I don't like that at all. With Aeila, if it was, okay, look, 3-turn increase accuracy with a single target sleep, that's pretty weak. But look, if this was a 3-turn cooldown block debuffs with a big heal, okay, that's not too bad. But the fact that it's a 4-turn on her sort of key skill, I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it. Let me try figure out a Hydra team. We'll give him a little bit of a spin, but yeah, be right back. Okay, so we have run into another problem. So I've been working on this sort of team, like a fairly accessible team for Hydra Clash anyway. Let me show you what we've got here. So we've got Mithrala Lifebane. Now she is going to come in, provides Hex, amazing, increased defense and attack. She's giving us cleansing, strengthen, shield, brilliant. Mithrala is going to help us stay alive. She's going to up our damage with Hex and increase attack as well. Fantastic, cool. She gives us an accuracy aura as well. We've got a damage champion in Whisper, really strong damage. We've got Ugo, block debuffs and block buffs and decreased defense and some healing and some leech. Skaramis as a mischief tank with that. We talked about that 3-turn provoke with 2 buffs, so he can reliably mischief tank. And he also brings decrease attack as well. And then Inquisitor Shamael for a little bit of damage and dealing with Head of Torment. Where do Aeila or Fren'zi fit in? We could bring in Fren'zi, I suppose, instead of a damage, but you're losing a lot of damage for a couple of random burns. Those random burns are going to be unreliable. And I certainly think, you know, on normal or hard Hydra, it's not going to equal just having a good damage dealer. Not that exciting. Could we bring her in as a mischief tank instead of a good one like Skaramis? And I think you can instantly see that, look, 4-turn cooldown, it doesn't compare. 4-turn cooldown provoke with increased defense, like that's not even going to work if we've got a Mithrala with increased defense or any other champ, compared to a Skaramis who has a 3-turn cooldown provoke with 2 very unique buffs that can mischief tank much more effectively. Just doesn't compare. It doesn't work here, I don't think. Can we bring in Aeila? Like, yeah, she's going to help us, you know, deal with that destroyed max HP. It's kind of nice, but increased accuracy, not super useful. The sleep, not really good. Block debuffs and healing, I mean, that's kind of nice, but it's a long cooldown, and if block debuffs get stolen, it's quite risky. The extra turn is nice, but in terms of a good team for Hydra, where do you fit these champions in? I think, honestly, you just don't. As opposed to putting in something in here like Golden Reaper that's going to come in and give us increased speed. Now that's a useful buff and turn meter. Backup decrease attack, and she can reduce cooldowns randomly. That's a bit more useful, right? Or a decreased speed champion, or someone that brings both increased speed and decreased speed. Like, I mean, if we throw another legendary, something like a Shamrock, be fantastic here. You know, not super seeing it. I'm not seeing it, guys. I'm not seeing it. Let me take a quick look at Sand Devil. Let me think about Aeila. How could we actually use her here? Let me have a think about that. Okay, it looks like I actually do have the team set up, but to give you a quick idea, right? Over here, you know, Godseeker Ninja or someone like it, he's missing gear. But you know, Godseeker team can duo stage 24, 25 of Sand Devil. And here's the thing, for lower levels of Sand Devil, you've got this rare champion you can get from campaign farming who has sleep for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown. That's brilliant, right? So we can, I think this team is set up, hopefully it is, we can come in to stage 7 or stage 11. We can have Arbiter turn meter boost. We put the boss to sleep for 2 turns. Great. We debuff him. We actually missed a couple of debuffs. That's a bummer. So this is going to be a little bit slower. And we smack him with big single target damage. And the great thing there, you can see the boss slept through his turn. So it's giving us time to actually catch back up. And bam, he's dead like that. We even missed decreased defense and we just killed him. The 2-turn sleep and it's going to come back ready to go. The problem I have, if we put in Aeila in the same spot, I mean, it should hopefully work for this team, but I do see there being issues with it. Where is she? Stick her in. So she should work, and we should try this on stage 11 as well, a bit of a harder stage. This concept should still work. But do I want my Void Epic doing something that a rare can do? So she puts him to sleep for 1 turn. We get the debuffs on. We get 1 hit in. Now he's going to just wake up because it's his turn. So he wakes up. It's probably not the end of the world. She's healed us as well. Okay, we got through. It worked just fine there. Let's try the next stage. Let's try stage 11. So maybe there's some potential here. The increased accuracy is also nice. I'll say that. Okay, okay. Increased accuracy is nice. Right, it lets you land those debuffs. Oh, she's given an extra turn to Arbiter. Gave us more turn meter. That's a little random. We'll take it. She gave herself an extra turn as well. It's popping off. Here we go. We hit him. Do some damage. Okay. He's going to wake up now. That's fine. Going to A1. We're going to do some stuff. We are going to get through just fine. He's going to take his turn and do a big blast now. Tried to put him to sleep, but he didn't have the... he's still immune because he just woke up this turn. He smacks it right here. Okay, he's actually dead. Let me crank the level up a bit more. We can't go too high or this team will start to actually just die. So that was 11, 12. We could try... Are we the right affinity for 13? We could try... Let's try 15. I think it gets quite a bit harder after 15. This might not work. We might horribly die. Might not have enough defensive stats. This was a team I just used to use for farming the lower stages. Man, the extra turn actually came in kind of nice. We get the sleep. We obviously have enough accuracy to land the debuffs. We land some hits in as well. So the extra turn thing is working okay. Boss wakes up. She's given us block debuffs. Okay. We're doing some hits here. Obviously, this boss is a lot tankier. All right. Let's see how we do. I mean, one thing, though, that can go wrong, the extra turn could happen at the wrong time and trigger a whole bunch of extra hits. Okay, we are just, in this case, too tanky, and she's not... okay, right. Well, that wiped us. That's fine. Let's go tone it down a little bit. I want to see her restoring HP. Like, is that actually significant, or is it just there? Let's try 13. Let's go halfway between those two. But yeah, like, what do you guys think about this? Can you think of a composition for this where it's like, bam, yes, Aeila lets me do this really effectively in Sand Devil. I couldn't have done it before with Muckstalker, a campaign rare. I can do it now because of this champion. Maybe this stage is a bit too easy. Let's see. So he smacks us. That really hurts. Almost killed Arbiter. He's asleep now. Let's see. She's tried to put him back asleep. Difficult to speed tune that. One more hit and he wakes up. Uh-oh, she's going to wake him up. He gets turn meter. I'm scared. Okay. We're back alive. That's good. She's got fairly long cooldowns. She's put him to sleep again. Okay, that's useful. That is useful. So he's going to miss this turn. It's pushed his stuff back a little bit. He woke up, but he would have woken up anyway. That actually works fine for us. There's the max HP restored. It's really nothing, isn't it? Like, it's really not anything special. Max HP restore. Max HP restored. It's honestly not even that noticeable. Maybe if she comes around to her A4, it will do it. No, she did her A. That's okay. Put him to sleep. I think he just dies here. Maybe she gets in and gets a turn. She heals up. Honestly, the curing set did way more. You could visually see it right there. The curing set did so much more than her A1 really did. I feel like this A1 seems to be mostly a trap. Like, it mostly doesn't do anything. I don't know. Guys, what do you think of these epics? Let me know. I think honestly they're both fairly underwhelming. Honestly, for void epics, I think they're both pretty bad. Like Aeila, she's got this thing. This is unique. That's really cool, but she seems honestly really weak. Really weak. I don't see her being that useful for Sand Devil compared to Muckstalker. Yeah, honestly, I think just a curing set did way more than her A1 really ever could. So not too impressed. I really think this needs to be buffed, honestly. For Fren'zi, I think Fren'zi, this should be buffed as well. Then we're talking, and we've got a decent champion. Without that, she's not that exciting. Let's throw Fren'zi in against one of the bosses. So unfortunately, with her provoke against the I guess the boss isn't even here, but against the Magma Dragon, she can provoke, but it's a 4-turn, not very useful, and her HP burns aren't really going to work. I think, Griffin would be pretty good for her. Let's try her against Griffin. Let's take out Ninja. Let's put in Fren'zi. Which team? Okay, let me double check that the team actually works. Okay, so I'm missing gear. Gear's messed up, so I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work. I've thrown in Mithrala instead to see if that will help. Give us the accuracy aura as well. But yeah, I mean, like, against the wave, that's a nice combo. Actually, Mithrala plus Fren'zi is a good combo, because Fren'zi actually hitting pretty decently well. Got okay damage. Mithrala brings increased defense. Oh, Fren'zi's going to come in. A1. She's got all right damage, right? This champion has got decent damage. We've built her with decent damage as well. And it does show. It's coming through. It's not bad damage at all. I'm very curious to see how this will go. So in this case, we've got Brogni should hopefully help keep us alive. And her, we've got the ally attack. And we've got 2 champs that can do damage. Elhain can throw debuffs back, which is kind of cool. Fren'zi, I think with the ally attack, she can blow up. She can place burns. Ally attack, she can help blow them up. It should be a decent enough combo. We'll see how we work against this boss. Let's see it. Here we go. When we get there, almost there. Steefy's still alive. Bang, Fren'zi finishes her off. That's a pretty big single target hit. Not bad. All right, we're up against our good friend, the Griffin. She's given herself increased defense. Gonna help her survive, I suppose. Brogni doesn't have cooldowns. He should be set up to do so. He's missing gear because it's the test server. The debuffs get thrown back. Fren'zi comes in. A1. It's decent damage. She's tanky as well, which is nice. Get cleansed off. All right. She's placed the burns on. Oh, we're getting absolutely slammed. Uh-oh. Absolutely slammed. She's going to explode the burns here at the A1, or potentially. It's not guaranteed. Yeah, she didn't actually this time. Yeah, man. If I rebuilt this team properly, we should have had the Brogni shield at the right time, but he's missing gear, so it didn't have the shield available. Mithrala's going to half solo it. Mithrala actually can solo this boss, but in this case, she's unfortunately not built for it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, she was missing gear as well. Okay, well, wow. Well, guys, what do we think? Honestly, for me, it's kind of a thumbs down with both of these. I think Fren'zi's all right. If you get her early game, she's okay. But she's no better than a mediocre epic. And Aeila, I think, is actually pretty poor. This is unique. It's fun, but it's actually mostly useless and super unreliable. I actually think both of these are kind of void epic padding, and that they are some of the less exciting void epics in the game. Visually, they look cool. Cool designs, but both pretty weak. There we go. That's on my honest thoughts on it. Again, let me know if you have a cool Sand Devil comp for Aeila. I'll show it off. But as far as I can tell, both pretty pants. See you next time, guys. Goodbye.